If you're new here, welcome. And to my regular fan base, welcome back. So, in this live video, we are going to be talking and speaking of the critical importance of making your child feel so that they remember you. So, what does this mean? And what does this embody exactly? Well, a few things. The first thing is that when you are present with your child, this means being present by way of, as an example, no phones, and just being emotionally engaged into what your child or children are saying and talking about, relating to their world, relating to the passions that personify their worlds, unleashing so much through emotional immersion, playfulness, authenticity, love, sincerity, and ultimately blissfulness for the connection between parents and child/children. These are just a few examples. Variables and playfulness is another one. You know, I actually posted a Facebook story which will be converted to a Facebook post, and I ordinarily save my posts, especially lately, and I just strictly keep that for my parental annihilation posts. Side note, I've got two profiles on this one. This is for my parental annihilation videos and how I document to the viewer, who are also going through parental annihilation, how to insulate and protect themselves and teach what to do. I really want to hammer home that by making your child feel emotionally, psychologically and spiritually, they will remember you. And when they remember you, this is where it actually is in the best interest for the child. Not the projected, like is nearly all the case, relating to the authorities, what they proclaim and project, that is the best interests of the child, that feed into their own narrative, that feed into their own deception, that feeds into their own manipulation, that coincides with the political agendas that is run surrounding the corruption. 95%, maybe even more than that, of perceived best interests for the child, wink wink, is merely the aforementioned points. Although, when you make your child or children feel, it most certainly is in the best interests for the child. And they at least get that one right, and the only reason they get that one right is because it's too obvious. And they would get into trouble with judges and courts, the authorities, because it's too obvious. Even an idiot can see that if a child wants their parent in their life or not. And on my other profile, I indeed do discuss this. My viewers will know at this point, I post 3 videos at the end of each and every life. The first, sorry, I post 3 videos at each of, sorry, I post 3 videos at the end of every life of golden moments with my son. Sorry about that, I got distracted there because I'm out and a cyclist was nearby and I got distracted. And look, there's another person coming towards me here. So it's like when you're doing a live, it does get a bit awkward. So let's go this way. But yeah, what am I saying here? Like when you do that and make your child feel they remember you, right? And that's the secret. The authorities, they cannot take that away from a parent. They cannot take away efforts relating to the parent behind making our child or children feel. And that's just it. When you do that, my dear friends, is how, from the emotional, psychological and spiritual perspective, like I've always preached, this is how you do this. And the reason why I'm making a rare exception, if you haven't checked it out already and wish to do such, there's a Facebook story that I had posted lately, and by all means feel free to go and check it out if you wish to do that. It only has 24 hours, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to screen record it and then I'm going to convert it into an actual Facebook post. Now I don't ordinarily do that, but I usually save that for my other profile, because my other profile is, again, the emotional, psychological and spiritual upbringing of my child, but also the podcast realm and how my name's slowly getting out there with people. Oh, there's 2 school kids coming there, with 2 oh, the sun's coming out now, look. Beautiful. Yeah, with 2 podcasts I've done, one from the highly successful Bigger Picture podcast, and I was a guest on her platform, and by the same token, I was a guest on another lady's platform called Masterful Parental. So my name's kind of like getting out there as well in the podcast realm, and the reason why this is because that's where I post all the videos of me and my son. Again, and after that a few times now, but for the emotional, psychological and spiritual perspective, so that he remembers me. The variables of playfulness in which I offer. And you're going to see just a small smidgen of that when I make a post, which I don't usually do, so enjoy it. After the Facebook story, I'm going to post it to my main profile. So yeah, and this just offers a few variables and insights of, of what I do and have done with my son ever since he was baby, from infancy all the way up until current age. So I just wish to do a live here quickly and also say that there's going to be a live dropping tonight, contact number 2. This is where the connection dropped out. So he calls, and my son called me straight back from his nan's phone when the supervisor had left. But this is going to be showcased tonight because this is contacts 2 out of 3 and virtual contact. And then after that, there's going to be a conversation between the social worker and the independent reviewing officer. But before the actual conversation of the independent reviewing officer, there will also be a voice recording I sent to her. So it's telling the story, and I've always said this with intentionally, deliberately, and articulately. And this is of the utmost importance, so that my viewer doesn't get lost. And I do my best to prevent this happening, and I have to, I try to put what, when, and how, and why, and when to do what, when, and but then things come up, and then I think, okay, maybe that's life suited for a better time, so that makes sense, and things like this. And I'm still relatively new to the new YouTube platform, although I am getting much more confident with each and every live in which I'm doing. So, and it's a journey. It's a journey, right? Especially when, you're going onto a platform. And, my wish is to help the world. And of course there's a helicopter behind me flying up now as I'm doing the live. Look at that. Oh wow, there's 3 of them. Oh wow. Perhaps it's an omen. Who knows? Look. 1, 2, 3. Who knows? Maybe it's an omen, right? Maybe it's an omen of maybe it's an omen of good luck. Maybe it's my good luck charm. No, I'm only joking. Who knows, right? But anyway, with all this said, yes, there's also going to be a new environment coming soon that I've worked very hard on, with plants and beautiful backgrounds. I do feel it's important to mix backgrounds up for the YouTube viewer. And yeah, so that's to come as well. So just to wrap up here, this has been a post merely to state the importance of making your child feel so that they remember you, and that the authorities, they can't take that away from the father. So I wanted to just stress this in this video and highlight it with an intense emphasis, as well as say and put forth that the later tonight virtual contact number 2 will be showcased. With all this said, much love, much respect. If I can help out just one person, as always, just one, I'm a happy guy, man. I really am. And I've done my job as a father and as a man. And me and my son, we're steps closer. We're steps closer, In the social worker and I conversation, she mentioned about the judge's final judgments. And that, in coordination, what am I saying coordination? That in conjunction with my legal team, then that is, I don't know where I got coordination from, because there's people over and I'm getting distracted, of course. But yeah, I am going to do that later tonight, and put down the put down the breakthroughs of we're going to start with number 2 virtual contact, and then when we get to the social worker part, you will see, yes, that's it, retrain of thoughts. I'll start with that. You get to the point where with the social worker contact number 2, it's going to be a good one, because it's going to get to the point where you will hear her, she will openly admit that she's read the judge's final judgments, and that in conjunction with my own legal team. This is why all of a sudden, it's a shame, it's disgusting how you need power behind you in order to do this. Well, it is what it is, because it's all about the money, and it's all about corruption. Anyway, I've already said much love, much respect. I hope this live has been somewhat serviceable and relatable, and yeah, please excuse me messing up the live a couple of times, with wording, there's distractions everywhere as you're out with people, and it just gets a bit, people are just funny. I don't like people, to be honest. Many people I don't like. I like good people, but where I live is... Anyway, with all this said, much love, much respect, and peace. And I'll be live later. And as always, thank you. Thank you. Because without you, there is no son and comeback. There is no father and son comeback story. Oh man, much love. Peace.